Hey, how's everyone doing? This is Oz from Oz Mechanics, and today we have a 97 Toyota pickup. So the issue with this vehicle is that the customer actually tried to change out the parts, but it's still acting up. So I got my good friend right here, the Pico, and we're gonna try to figure it out and get it diagnosed. Okay, so we're gonna be starting off on the scan tool. I want to look at the codes, and then after that we're gonna look at some graphs on here. So customer down the street, they basically try to work on this car. They changed out some sensors and this and that, disconnected so much stuff. So I don't know if this is gonna be relevant right here, but what happens, all right, so we have the air temp sensor, a throttle position code, vent control, and yeah, we have some codes showing up. But what I want to look at, because essentially what happens with this vehicle, if you rev it up, it kind of has like a dead spot, and they said that they changed out the throttle position sensor. So what I want to do, I want to look at the actual graphs on this throttle position sensor voltage. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start pressing on the gas pedal, and we should see a rise. And guess what? Nothing. Look, that was crazy. It went from having the line to nothing. I don't know if it's a scan tool or what, but that's why I have my PicoScope outside. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna check out the PicoScope. And remember, this TPS sensor is a 3-wire sensor, so we're gonna have the ground, signal, and power. So first of all, what we want to look for is to see that we have 5 volts coming out from the PCM to the actual TPS sensor. Then we're going to look at our grounds, and then after that we're going to check our signal wire. So let's get to it. Let's see what we find out. So what we're going to do first, I got the PicoScope on this other side right here. So I'm just going to show you right here first what we have. We got our first 3 signal wires right here. So on the middle one, we're going to have what we call our signal wire. The one on the left is going to be a pink one. That's going to be our 5-volt reference. And then we're going to have one on the side. That's going to be a dark, looks like black right here. So that might be a brown one, and that's going to be our ground. So to start off with, we're going to move to the actual screen, and we're going to look at the Pico. And we're going to test each one, make sure that we have our 5-volt reference, and we do have our key on the on position. And then after that, we're going to start looking for our grounds and so on. So let me get you directed to the actual computer screen. So as you can see right here, we have a 0 to 10 scale. And right now, like I said, I'm just going to try to look for the 5-volt reference. And then after that, we're going to go down the side. I do have my ground connected to negative on the battery. And what we have right here, we're going to back probe to get the 5 volts. So let's get that started. There's your 5 volts right there. And then after that, what we're going to do, we're going to look at our ground. So just so we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone as well, I should have done this in the beginning, I'm just going to hook up where this alligator clip, I had it to the battery, but I'm just going to go straight to the ground, and let's see if we get 5 volts from there. Alright, so what I did, I just took off my alligator clip, and I'm basically going to back probe the ground side on the sensor, and that lets us know that our ground is good. So as you can see, we have a line at the 5 volts. So now what I want to do, I'm actually going to back probe to the signal wire. And remember, that's going to be the middle wire right there. So we have 3 wires. That's going to be our power, ground, and the signal. So now I'm going to go ahead, go to the signal wire. We shouldn't get any voltage right now. So there you go. Shows us that we're hooked in. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a little snap throttle. So I'm going to move the throttle, and we should see a movement. Okay. Right there, we don't have any movement whatsoever. Like I said, this is a brand new sensor. I'm not thinking that they just didn't put this on right. So what I'm gonna do, because this is not hard to take off, let me take off the sensor and I'm gonna test it outside of here. I'm gonna see what happened, and then we're gonna see if we can put it back on. Hopefully this is just gonna be an easy video. I think they just probably didn't stab it in there right. So let's get to it. Let's get the sensor off. All right, this should be the last of the screw. I have a feeling that this was just not put in there right. Yep, it was not put in there right. All right, so let's go back to the Pico. There you go. All right, so going back to this right here, so most likely what happened, this was basically right behind here, so when they're trying to move the throttle, it didn't even catch it. So what we need to do is put this piece right behind here, so when the throttle moves, everything's gonna move. Next footage is going to be this back together, and then after that we're going to go look at the graph and just verify with the Pico. So we have everything connected, and I adjusted this, made sure that everything was all good. As you can see, we have our 0 volts, and now what we're going to do, we're just going to crank this throttle and we're going to see what we get. So now we should see a rise and a drop, rise and drop, rise and drop, rise and drop. So now that's our TPS. Now let's go inside, look at our scan tool data, and verify that we're actually getting some movement there. I'm just glad and happy that we don't have to change out any other parts. So let's go inside, let's check this out. Alright, so we have our Alto right here. So what we're gonna do, simple little test, like I said, hit the gas pedal, down, hit the gas pedal, down. Alright, that should be our fix right there. So, you know, sometimes you just gotta double check whenever you put any parts in. Luckily it was just this, and we verified it with using our scan tool and using our PicoScope. So there you go. If you do like this video, please thumbs up, subscribe, and share, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell to get all the brand new videos coming out from Miles Mechanics.